We are going to put a pin in that presser from yesterday's Boulder scene out of Colorado and bring you some breaking news now. A live press conference happening out of Charleston with the governor there as well as the sheriff talking about some ICE representatives are there as well. Let's go ahead and listen in here on Live Impact News.
A source of a lot of disruption, crime, assaults, drug dealing, etc. going on in that particular area. And I would tell you, we've heard from some of the business owners since this operation yesterday morning, very grateful to see the activity to be hopefully, will go away, will not come back from here. I want to tell you a little bit about what happened during the operation. I'm going to get in to what I can. Please remember, we're roughly 24 hours post-operation. And there's a lot of investigating still going on, a lot of fact-finding still going on, and a lot more will come with this, but I want to give you the highlights. So there were 116 arrest warrants served. These are warrants that were already on file, both criminal warrants and warrants with our immigration partners, and they can talk about that. Of those 116 arrest warrants, 80 individuals were actually served those warrants. I understand in that nightclub, and we'll talk a little more about the illegal activity going in there, probably over 200 plus people that were in that club. That's a lot of criminal element in that nightclub that was in there.
So you hear about this a lot. Gang members, cartel members, illegals, criminal organization, like I used to watch movies. Well, I would watch movies, and they would have like the places behind the laundromat, or they would have like the club under the convenience store or something like that. But it's like now, like people are literally like, how are people able to get these buildings, able to get these permits to even be able to build and run these operations for that long? I think there definitely need, I understand people don't like a lot of government involved when it comes to them and their businesses, especially as an entrepreneur, you probably want as little regulation as possible. But, there are reasons they're there, and I feel like this shouldn't be happening. You shouldn't have a nightclub that's just there in the middle of like that's just there up and running. You feel me? That's full of gang members, illegals, underage children. I get America's big, but how does this stuff go on? But this is why we need more voices in the community, and this is why I'm so big on community. We need more voices out there to talk to each other, spread the word, let each other know to keep our communities safe.
Of those were 2 high-level cartel members that were arrested, including those that were with the Las Davis cartel and from the Tren de Aragua gang. So again, these are folks that have affiliations. There are others that we're looking into right now, checking their affiliations, and we believe that number may grow. We've also identified a number of potential trafficking victims who were removed from that situation and are being assisted. We had 1 missing juvenile that was recovered in that location. Let me say it again. We had a juvenile that we ran who was missing, a missing person. We're digging out a little more to find out why that missing individual wound up in that situation.
I applaud everyone here and everyone who have boots on the ground. This is exactly what Donald Trump wanted. This is exactly what the Border Czar wanted, Tom Homan. He wanted the states and the guys on the federal level, the ICE, he wanted them to work together to be able to do this stuff as easy as possible, right? To be able to go, get what they need done, and get up out of there. This is what happened when you work together. This is what happened when 2 groups come together for a common cause. Plain and simple. There's no overdoing it. There's no blind. It's simple. Let's work together to get these criminals and people who aren't supposed to be here out of here. How do you have a missing child? So this person was what, like, I'm assuming either a parent probably called them in missing, or they were, I'm curious if they were missing from, like, at the border, like if they were one of those kids, who just disappears at the border. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. I mean, I'm happy, honestly. If you can save one life, two lives, three lives, four, I'm happy.
But y'all can only imagine, so we'll continue working on that. There was one international warrant, a murder suspect warrant, that was served and located. An individual from Honduras wanted for murder by Interpol. Let me say that again. We had a murder suspect from Honduras in this club. We were there for a reason, to protect this county, protect the state. Plain and simple. Folks, we identified, other than those that we were the potential victims of trafficking, we identified 10 underage juveniles.
10 juveniles. How in the hell, like, we have all these laws and regulations for normal citizens, right? Normal people. We can't break these laws. There will be fines, possible jail time. Like, citizens can't do anything, right? And it brings me back to, like, the gun issue, right? It's like, okay, everyone wants to get, like, there are people who wants to get rid of guns, right? But who are going to stop criminals? We have all these laws in place, all these rules, and criminals don't care. They're operating illegal establishment, bars, right? Illegal bars in our states, in our cities, our towns, our homes, right? Where they're allowing, there are 10 underage kids. How is that even possible? Like, I have to get ID'd when I even go to a restaurant. Like, I literally don't understand how this is possible. Like, we need to just start cracking down. Whether you're illegal, whether you're legal, whether you're a citizen, if you're a criminal, like you shouldn't, like, especially like murderers, rapists, traffickers, it don't matter. If you're a criminal, like, it shouldn't be this easy for them to make money here and live here, and it shouldn't be easy for them to be able to do this stuff. It really shouldn't.
Our youngest that was removed from that situation was 13 years old.
13?
13. What were they doing there at 3 o'clock in the morning, or after 3 o'clock in the morning? Firearms were recovered from the location. A quantity of cocaine was seized, and a quantity of an unknown controlled substance was confiscated. Testing is being done. Again, we're 24 hours into this operation to determine exactly what that was. We have 4 vehicles seized from the property, all as a result of possible drug issues that were identified, and we're getting search warrants for those vehicles. There's a large quantity of bulk currency that was recovered. We don't have the number on that. Again, that's part of the investigation. We have to get a bank counter to identify that. Why is that important? This goes back to some of the other things that are being investigated.
Exactly. Criminals should not have the opportunity to make that much money. I am a hard working motherfudge cake. You feel me? Like, I did my service, you feel me, right out of high school, came out, started scaffolding, you feel me, saved up, we moved to South Carolina, got right to work, Amazon, got here, you feel me, boom, 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 you feel me, now I'm on a road to entrepreneurship, but I mean, it shouldn't be as easy for criminals to be able to make money, that much money, man. Like, it shouldn't, it just shouldn't. But like I said, I'm happy, and man, I'm glad y'all doing what y'all doing.
On this location, the drug trafficking, the money laundering, these are all specific items that were being targeted, and we were successful in handling. Facts matter, folks. That's why we're standing in front of you. Wish we could have put more out Sunday when this operation's over, but as you can tell, a lot of moving pieces, a lot of great agencies involved assisting to make this a success. And I would be remiss if I did not mention our own code enforcement in Charleston County. They assisted us as well. We have representatives here from the county that assisted us that will now have already put the seal on that business, stopping it from ever operating again. And we're going to be looking at other businesses that are operating illegally and becoming an issue in our community that continue to have this kind of criminal activity.
Over the course of this joint operation, Homeland Security Investigations, working side by side with the Charleston County Sheriff's Office, South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, and our federal, state, and local partners, conducted an enforcement operation that led to the administrative arrest of more than 66 individuals who are in the United States illegally. These individuals were encountered during the execution of a search warrant at an unlicensed, illegal nightclub operating in plain view of the community. During this operation,
In plain view. See, I didn't want to say that at first because I wasn't really sure. Because the guy said in a rural area, so I didn't know if it was like on the outskirts of like the city limits, if it was inside. But he's saying it's just like in plain view. I thought it was kind of hidden off somewhere. No, this is in plain view, right? So people's children, like people probably like walk past here or drive past, periodically.
we made 5 criminal arrests. Some of these individuals have been charged with serious offenses, including assault on a police officer, resisting arrest, possession of a controlled substance, and a felon in possession of a firearm. One individual taken into custody is wanted for murder in Honduras and will now face justice after evading it for far too long. Equally concerning, we encountered 7 juveniles at the location. These minors were turned over to the appropriate social services agencies to ensure they are safe and protected from further exploitation. This speaks to the deeply troubling conditions at this location, where criminal activity, illicit substances, and illegal firearms posed a direct threat not just to the neighborhood, but to the most vulnerable among us.
Exactly. And this is why criminals, whether you're legal or illegal, get them out of here. Get them out of here. We need to take this stuff serious, right? Our children, right, are going to be growing up in these areas. And this is why community is so important. This is why we need community back across the U.S. so we can do this stuff. You feel me? We can catch this stuff. So we can protect our own community. Okay, there needs to be some type of relationship, again, between communities, specifically lower income communities, specifically black communities and police officers. This could be going on in your town, in your city right now. You feel me? Whether they're illegals or not, there are criminals out there, people out there who are feeding drugs to kids. Don't care what their age is, as long as they're making money or if they can use them to make money, right? Check on your kids. Check on your family. Check on your neighbors. Y'all need to watch. We need to watch out for each other. Because if there are things going on like this and no one's saying anything about it, eventually somebody's going to get hurt. Clubs like this don't go on without some type of violence occurring. Come on. I've been in a couple clubs, you feel me? Like you walking around feeling like you have to watch your back, step outside, somebody arguing, somebody about to shoot, it's something. And we don't want to wait till it's the end or wait till it's too late and it's someone we know who care about.
This operation was not only about immigration enforcement, it was also about restoring order, removing threats from our streets, and ensuring the safety and well-being of Charleston area residents. It reflects the critical importance of the whole of government approach we continue to take across this region and the country. This investigation is ongoing, and as such, additional details will be limited at this time.
I think it's, like I said, I think it's wild, man. Like criminals are able, okay, U.S. citizen criminals, okay, cool. I get it may be a little bit easier for them to be able to, bypass some of these things. You're a citizen, you can still, technically you can still own businesses, you can still start up your own business. You know, you can still work at places, you know, but if you're illegal, you can't do these things. And it shouldn't be that easy for them to be able to do these things, you know. So like I said, congratulations to the South Carolina Police Department, Sheriff's Department, SLED, everyone who was involved. This is a pretty long video. It's like a half an hour. So yeah, if y'all want to look at this any further, there it is. WCNC. ICE makes arrest at cartel after party in South Carolina. You know, like I said, I'm happy for him. You know, this is good. This is exactly what we want to see, especially as a conservative, as a Trump supporter. You know, this is something that I like to see, especially in my home, and when I'm my home state, I'm not from here, but my home state, because I'm here, but especially in the state that I live in, you know, like I want to see stuff like this getting done, regardless of, like I said, if it's illegals or just criminals. You know, like this is what we need to get done, you know, and this is how we need to do it, you know, quick, fast, in a hurry, boom. All right, well, that's all I got though. Make sure you love someone, make sure you hug someone. Peace.